kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, cuts to his forward, take the shot, he scores!
Obviously, for Canon-Mac, Josh Ripp for a while wears number 92. He was the top scorer in Class AAA. Canon-Mac took last week off, and, well, a couple of guys from North Allegheny have surpassed him, but still 10 goals and 15 total points for Ripp, the senior, in just the 8 games played. Also, Logan Ford, a solid start with 2 goals and 6 assists. And in goal, it's, of course, the man we saw a lot last year, Mario Iafrate. Iafrate on the season, 3-3 record with a .905 save percentage and a 2.34 goals against. Noah Coitti has played 1 game as the backup, so we're looking to see Mario, number 1, in goal for Canon-Mac tonight.
He's been their big stopgap at the beginning of the season. He had a really good start to the year. The problem with Canon-McMillan right now is they just haven't been firing on offense, and they're hoping to get that solved here. Peters Township the last couple weeks hasn't exactly been haven't been hard to score on. So they've been pretty, it's been a rough couple stretch of games for Peters Township, so trying to get back on the horse here. Of course, that wild shootout in the third period against North Allegheny didn't help.
Yes,
so.
Last Thursday, the game we called, Peters Township fell behind 4-0, made it a game, but still lost 6-4 to NA. So it's not as structured of a Peters Township team so far, but they still have some time to get it together, and they still have some top gunners on the number 1 line. Well, we'll see, I guess, how Rick Tingle deploys them, because we saw him mix up the lines a bit last week, and it seemed to spark the squad. But Mark Lehman with 15 points, the senior center, 9 goals, 6 assists. Drew and Eric Wilbert, 2 of the Wilbert quadruplets. They're tied, fittingly enough, at 11 points. They can't get separated in any facet of life, apparently. And from there, it's a defenseman, and Owen Barrett as the number 4 scorer. And then John Camp's the intriguing one. He had a goal last week and an assist. He has 4 points in just 5 games. So perhaps Camp can help anchor a second line for the Indians. They're looking for scoring depth is more my point. We talked about that last week. Yeah, the Wilberts and Mark Lehman, they can hurt you, but they need another line or another couple of guys they can depend on to get some offense. So I think that's part of the task here in this pre-holiday stretch for the Tribe.
Yes, sir. You've mentioned Camp. Of course, he's been a game changer whenever he's in. It's hard to get into Rick Tingle's lineup every once in a while, though, especially as deep as his team is. So, but he is starting to prove that he needs to be in there every game, and every time he's gone out there, he has just shown what he needs to. So that secondary scoring needs to start showing up for both squads here. This could be a game where he needs to break in on it.
Well, we talked about goaltending from the Canon-Mac side of it. From the Peters Township point of view, Alex Wilbert, their senior stud, is back healthy. We expect him to be opposing Iafrate tonight. Wilbert, the first Peters Township goalie to make back-to-back starts this season. He got healthy, got over a lower body injury, and he has played the last 2 times out. On the year, an .890 save percentage, below what he's used to, but tough to just jump into the fray mid-season, and we'll see how he can continue to adjust. Other than him, we've seen 3 other goalies get at least a couple of appearances this year. Aaron Simmons, Joey Nelson, and Tanner Ringwald have all seen action. Tanner Ringwald, in fact, has played 3 games. Simmons and Nelson 2 apiece, and now Wilbert will presumably start his 3rd in a row. So even though it looks like some goaltending uncertainty on paper, if you look at the stats, really if you know the situation with the roster and Alex Wilbert's spectacular history as a high school goaltender, then you know it's probably his net to lose at this point. And he is out there right now, as is Tanner Ringwald. So they'll be the 2 goaltenders who dress tonight. We'll find out shortly who Rick Tingle goes to between the pipes. Again, a big matchup. Miners Cup is on the line, and it's an annual tradition here. Usually it happens earlier than Thanksgiving week, but this is the first time these 2 teams have met this season. You play each team in Class AAA twice this year. That's how you get to the 20-game regular season. Both teams are ready to line up for the national anthem here at Printscape Arena. Peters Township on our left, Canon-McMillan on our right. We'll be back after this short break on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. We are moments away from PIHL Class AAA hockey here at South Point, the arena formerly known as the Isoplex, now Printscape. I'm Matt Geika with Brian Mitchell. We gave you our pregame warm-up, and the players have given us their pregame warm-up. It'll be Alex Wilbert in the Peters Township goal, as expected, making his third start and making his 8th start of the season, Mario Iafrate. Down to our right, Cannon Mack in the predominantly white uniform tops with the blue and the gold trim, like we mentioned, looking a lot like the St. Louis Blues. After a few years looking like the old Buffalo Sabres of the Buffa Slug era, these are a little more good looking, if I do say so myself.
That's a forgettable era.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And then as for the Peters Township Indians, they're in their alternate black uniforms with red helmets and off-white trim on those. Big red stripe across the middle. And we're playing hockey now. The puck has been dropped. Sticks are down, and Mark Lehman chips it into the offensive corner. Here we go. The Indians going on the forecheck first. It'll be Eric Wilbert trying to pry that puck away from Garver of Cannon Mac. It comes free to Drew Wilbert. Put it off Friday from behind the goal. Extreme angle, a negative angle, if you will, but a save made. Wilbert now gave it over to Lehman. He slugged a shot deflected wide. This will be Eric Wilbert handing it off to the point. Hunter Ferguson's blast, and the senior D-man couldn't get it through. It was blocked down, and here come the Big Macs now. Logan Ford drops it off. Over to Garver, right back to Ford, and the slot, and the pass went right by his stick blade. Good give-and-go look, but not completed by the Big Macs. From in behind the goal, it's Garver again. Out to the point, Anthony Abbott shooting, deflected, down into the body of Josh Ripp. Ripp gave it to Ford. I think he put that off the outside of the post, and it hopped over into the right corner. My goodness, good chances for the Big Macs to start this one, just a minute into the game. Again, the Miners' Cup trophy is on the line tonight. First of 2 meetings in the regular season between these two rivals. Turnover. Can the Indians get something going? They can't. Camp unable to take this pass from Drew Wilbert as it was deflected high in the offensive zone. Back at the Peters Township blue line, it's Seth Hanna trying to get up the ice once. Now he tries it again after his first attempt was blocked, and Camp will layer it ahead. Owen Barrett on the retrieval back in the Peters Township zone. Goes D over to Hanna. Now back to Barrett. The two seniors play catch. Barrett bangs it up into the neutral zone, but Dylan McElhaney is unable to control that one either. PT has to start again. Cannon Mac closing down the neutral zone at the moment. Right now, Big Macs have an early edge. Zakin to Camp. He's bashed down. Clean check by Taryn Prezel. Seth Hanna back to get it one more time. Long shift for him and Barrett, his D partner. Barrett will take it here. Now Zakin taps it into the middle. Good play. That'll at least allow John Camp to skate it out into the neutral zone. And now Zakin follows up. But it's a solo mission, 1-on-5. The Indians badly needed a change, and they'll get it. Zakin pressed against the end boards by a couple of Big Macs. O'Donohue among them. Now forced out to the near side half wall. Cannon Mac bringing a nice student section. Same with Peters Township down to our left. Turning to whip a shot toward goal was Blake Stanton, but his drive was deflected up into the screen, and we'll get our first whistle after 2.5 minutes of consecutive play. 14:38 to go in the first. No score. PT and Cannon Mac.
Both teams coming out with big hops here early. PT gets down into the zone and just fires a shot from behind net off the inside of Iafrate's stick and bounced on net. It was one of those freak shots that might have went in if it was a better opportunity on it. But definitely an opportunity there. And then Cannon going the other way. Big hits around already.
We just saw another one. You might have heard it on our crowd mic. Anthony Foltz got pressed to the boards by Holland, and another collision between Ryder Mertens of Peters Township and Christian Trottier. Now Trottier, the senior, lays another hit on Mertens, his opposite number. 2 21s come together.
Well, you would have never guessed this was a rivalry game.
Yeah, you can just feel a little extra in the atmosphere tonight. Holland for Cannon Mac flips it over the head of Logan Ford, but he'll be able to chase it down on the right side wall. Fired it toward the net. Weak shot that Wilbert easily sticked away. That is Alex Wilbert again. Alex the goaltender. Eric and Drew are the forwards. From the corner, it's Passiou. Corey Passiou lost control for Cannon Mac. And it's Hanna trying once and twice to lift it outside the line, but Garver blocked it both times. He looks for Rip in the middle, but the pass is away from him. Chris Pedro holds at the point. Pedro behind the goal. Centered in front of the net for Passiou, but it was deflected away from his stick. Now it's Rip. ripped the leading Canon-McMillan scorer, 10 goals on the year. Waits as he emerges from the corner, left it there on the cycle game with Passiu, not going to work out. The Indians break it up. Here comes Debkowski. Debkowski through the neutral zone. Up the left wing. Christian Biscardo shoots. Friday the save. Rebound. Debkowski couldn't get a clean hit on it as it bounced and bounded in the low slot. Now here's Chris Pedro behind the net for Canon-McMillan. Quickly gets rid of it, but right into the teeth of the Peters Township forecheck. Lehman knocks Pedro down now. Big Macs will try again to get it out. They can't. Garver overskated out near the point. Ferguson kept it alive for Peters. Again behind the Canon-McMillan net. Pedro to this near wing side and tossed high into the atmosphere by Garver. Now Passiu will drive it the rest of the way just inside the red line, so no icing against the Big Macs. Ferguson, headman pass for Peters Township. Now Lehman takes a cross-ring feed. Lehman pulled around O'Donohue. Lehman to the middle, left it there. It was pulled away from him by Eric Wilbert, his teammate, but Wilbert couldn't get the shot off. Now Drew Wilbert joins the party. He's dispossessed by O'Donohue. O'Donohue will clear it out into the neutral zone, but there's Lehman back to get it at his own blue line for Peters Township. Barrett clicks a pass off the twig of Eric Wilbert. Stanton now goes up ahead for Canon-McMillan. This will deflect off the sideboards and right in on Alex Wilbert, and a rogue swing of the stick from the captain Logan Ford, but nothing comes from that as Wilbert holds on with no trouble. 11:58 to go in the first period. Zeros across the board.
After a rough start, it's good to see the confidence that Rick Tingle has in his top line, putting them back together after splitting them up in that third against North Allegheny, and they actually popped out with a lot of hop in this game so far.
I was curious if he would go back to them, and he's going to give them another shot here this evening with the trophy up for grabs. And for Peters Township, both these teams, like I said, they played better at the start of the year than they have in the last month or so. Zakin centering on his backhand. That's off a Big Mac skate. That was Trottier who defended it. Now Trottier getting in against John Camp. He pries it loose. Ford from the corner. And Ford gets it out to the red line. Ewan gave it away for Peters Township. Coming down the wall, and a sharp angle shot by Cole Holland is gobbled up by Alex Wilbert, and he pounces on that loose puck at his feet. 11:17 remaining in the first period, and both teams have now apparently gotten their feet under them. A quick start for Canon-McMillan, now a couple of shifts for PT in the offensive zone.
Not a lot of opportunities for loose pucks out there. Not many 50-50 pucks as you would normally see in a game. Both teams are keeping control pretty well. Here comes Sainert.
Ryder Mertens now catches up as Sainert created the turnover in the offensive zone below the goal line. Now it's Sainert out high, trying to connect on this near wing for Anthony Foltz. It's the youngster line, the rookie line, if you will, of Foltz, Mertens, and Sainert for Rick Tingle's Indians. Ryan Lamberger now the coach of the Canon-McMillan varsity program. Mertens keeps this puck alive. Ryder Mertens tries a duck pass to check, and, well, he did get through Garver a bit, but couldn't bring the puck with him. Mertens, the freshman. And now Mertens is crushed in the low slot. Good hit from Nick Price to send him spinning. He's worried about his welfare for a bit, but he appears to be okay. Icing call against Canon-McMillan. 10.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
Yeah, you're seeing these two. I think that was the first icing call of the game too. Nobody's really taking any chances down ice. They're just can maintain possession out of the zone here. Both sides. Oh, thrown back on net there.
Friday has to be sharp to freeze that at the side of his net. Nearly some friendly fire.
A bank pass gone wrong, ended up at the feet of Friday, and he just fell down to hold on to it.
Face off at the left dot for the Indians. Slavin trying to get a shot off, and he does there, but it was deflected up off the corner glass. Nice bounce for Canon-McMillan out to Holland, but his dish for Wilcox goes under his stick. Shoved right back into the mix by the Indians. Behind the goal, it's Friday again. Battle for the puck is on. Biscardo couldn't win it for PT, and it'll be dispatched out to center ice by Trottier. Trottier, third-year varsity player. Logan Ford, also a vet. Ford makes a nice pass to the middle in the offensive zone. It's Abbott shooting, but that's rejected. Good block by Chase Debkowski. Debkowski headmans it for Biscardo, but Biscardo can't get past the poke check of Trottier. Holland heads up ice for Canon-McMillan. Lehman Knocks a stick away, and now he has it. Mark Lehman's going to break in with a move, and he shoved it wide of the net. Maybe Friday got a piece with the glove.
Which is a big inside-outside move for Lehman there. Coming in on Friday, played it well, but just shot it wide of the glove side of the netminder.
Mark Lehman, who leads the squad in points and goals, 9 in the latter category. He's not going to get a better look than that on fresh ice right between the hash marks, even a little bit closer.
All the time in the world, nothing was collapsing on him either.
He tried to go low glove, it appeared, but either he missed it or maybe Friday deflected it away. Tough to tell from this angle. Still the Indians stay on the attack. Lehman will have to step up. Mark Lehman crushes past you, sends him flying. Now he chips the puck past Garver. Lehman lowers the shoulder, centers for Eric Wilbert. It comes through for Drew, and he shot it deflected wide of the net. Something from nothing for Mark Lehman and the Indians. Now a centering pass from Drew Wilbert's taken away and fired down the ice by Garver of Canon-Mac. We're seeing a lot of Garver and Blake Stanton. Here's a centering pass and a good chance in front of the net.
Stratton.
That was Stratton, exactly. Here come the Indians back on a 2-on-1. Drew Wilbert holding, shooting, hit the post. Woo! And it hops right back out to the low slot and backhanded into the crowd by Blake Stanton.
Giveaway. I believe that's into the Canon-Mac student section.
So a glorious chance in front for Canon-Mac, and then back on a 2-on-1 came the Tribe. Can't take your eyes off this one so far. 8:34 to go in the first.
Well, you said they got their legs under them. Now they're using them. They're going back and forth. You're going to see some tired players by the end of the second.
Jack Zakin will take this draw for the Indians against Logan Ford. And we have a delay here.
There was a little bit of stuff in on the ice. They're trying to get it out of the crease and clear it. Debris in the crease.
Huh, wonder what that is. Looks like is it a mouth guard?
Might be the butt end of a stick,
yeah,
maybe.
That's probably what it is.
Looks like it was just sitting around trying to throw it into the net. Officials said, nope, got to get it off the ice.
So Friday fishes it out and play resumes. Trade will help this puck along to the far side. Bit of a hook applied by Jack Zakin, but play continues on. Can the Big Macs clear? No, they can't. Well, now Jack Zakin will do it for him as he couldn't control the puck at the blue line. Ripped in deep. This is Anthony Abbott, the junior defender. Abbott, Indian swarm though. It's Camp breaking it up, trying to cut to the middle, and that was poked off his stick. Back out to the red line. Seth Hanna for the Indians. Flipped it, looking for McElhaney perhaps on the area play, but that's disrupted by Trottier. Line change for Canon-Mac, or at least partially. Ford's still out there, but now we see Brady Rotello joining the party, and Dakota Albarano. Seth Hanna, long slap shot from just inside the blue line. Glove down by Friday. No further play with 7:44 left in the first.
Nice little snap from the top of the circle. Just you can't really beat Friday that way. You give him a wide open look at that shot. He's going to stop it 9 times out of 10. He's that good. You can't really fool him to the glove side.
This is at least his third varsity season for Friday.
He's a junior. I think he's a 3-year starter.
Yep. Back into his belly pad, off the shot from Hunter Ferguson. We'll do it again from the left dot.
I believe he was an all-star both years. So at least last year I know for certainty. This year, I mean the year prior, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was. So
yeah, it feels like he's been here forever. Same deal with Alex.
Still got another
Wilbert.
year of him. So
yeah, well, good for Canon-Mac. They won't have to worry about the goaltending position, assuming all goes well. Garver on the chip in for Canon-Mac. Passiu, overskated. Now the Indians have it. Centered, just inside his blue line. Banged it off the sideboards. O'Donohue will shove it right back into the mix. Good bounce off the corner wall. It's Rip shooting and patted out by Wilbert.
Good reaction save by Wilbert to get that pad out.
That just came careening out of the corner right in front of the net. Lively boards here at Princecape Arena. Tossed up into the air and out by Hunter Ferguson of Peters Township. Back to chase and get it is Stanton. Stanton goes up the far side wall. Passiu to the corner, and Biscardo broke it up for Peters Township and flopped it right back into the offensive zone. Again, the Indians will try to make something happen. From the neutral ice area, it's Biscardo taking a pass from Hanna. Caden Slavin yanks it off the wall. Slavin, he's poke checked nicely by O'Donohue of Canon-Mac. O'Donohue's lifted clear, held in at the line by Hanna. in behind the goal. Stanton twists and turns one off the body and off the stick of Barrett, who swats it out of the air with a high stick. And that'll stop play with 6:34 to go in the first.
Going back to that play with Rip in front of the net, that careened off the boards, out just right to the slot where Rip was standing now. Player like that, just really creative and real quick and know what he's going to do with it. To be able to get that reaction time on Wilbert, that's all on him. Great job there by Alex Wilbert.
As a goaltender, you don't expect that puck to trampoline out of the corner like it did, but it must have hit something lively over there. Barrett will clear it off the wall from in his own zone. Eric Wilbert up ahead to Mark Lehman, who stretches out. Lehman tried to lay a backhand pass on the extended give and go over to Eric again, but that was broken up. Now Barrett shoots wide from just inside the right point. The puck caroms off the corner and all the way out to center ice again. Drew Wilbert on the take. 6 minutes to go in the first. Nothing on the board yet. No goals, no penalties even in this Miners Cup game between Peters Township and Canon-McMillan. This will be Wilcox of Canon-Mac, sliding it in behind the net. There's a man wearing the C, Logan Ford, back to Trottier. His slapper bounces around in the slot after it was initially blocked, and now picked up by Eric Wilbert, and he fires it ahead to Mark Lehman. Lehman's shot from just outside the blue line, deflected off the stick of Anthony Abbott and into the screen.
About 5:37 remaining here in the first. Both teams seem to settle down a little bit on their odd man breaks here. A lot more passing, a lot more of an offensive opportunity coming off of the set plays in the last couple minutes.
The Miners Cup game last year was the first game of the season for both these teams. As Camp cuts in and shoots this off of Iafrade's mask. It bounces free in the low slot and eventually picked up by Taryn Prezel, and he'll escape and put that one right into the Peters Township bench on his attempted dump in. And then he bumps bodies with Jake Bush. Doesn't appear to be any bad blood, but everyone's taken the body even a little bit after the whistle tonight. As I was saying, Peters Township trailed in that Miners Cup game last year, early October, 3-1, before rallying for a 5-3 win. That was just part of the theme for the Indians last year. They started slowly, but they were the best third period in the league, and it wasn't even close in the 2018-19 season. This year, a little more traditionally spread out as their offense. Their best period has been the first, though, so far. Look out, another deflected puck goes into the Canon-Mac bench this time. Yeah, that was a attempted pass across by Zachary Wilcox that lifted up into the bench off of a Peters Township stick. Neutral zone face-off upcoming. Zakin tries to go forward with it, but he ends up playing it right to O'Donohue, the Canon-Mac defenseman. Now a cross-ring pass from Prezel to Garver, trying to go back door on a soft little play over to Rip. Then Rip was bodied down by Ferguson. No call upcoming. I think Rip tried to draw one there, snapped his head back. Now Rip has the puck out high.
A couple times today, and there's another one where somebody was drugged down for a play that they just put the whistles away.
And here's Ferguson getting his gloves up against Passiu as the play was halted in front of the net with Wilbert pinning down an attempted stuff try by Rip. And again, we have some chatter between the two teams, but no penalties yet.
Yeah, it seems like the officials are putting away the whistles right now, letting them play out there. There's a couple opportunities there that I thought may have been a call or an easy call. They just didn't bother to go after it. And I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's costing anything right now, but it's definitely one thing to watch later.
Yeah, they might be letting a little bit more go, just considering the emotion of the game, and we'll see how that changes or fluctuates as the night progresses. Centered on the chase for Peters Township. Can't quite get to the puck and play it cleanly. It'll be broken out by Canon-Mac and Wilcox. Tried the cut back. Mertens said no to go. Now Mertens shoots it right back in. Iafrade let it sit behind the net nearly dangerously, but O'Donohue, his defender, bails him out, and O'Donohue will play it off the window and out into the neutral zone again.
Foltz was coming down quick there on that play. O'Donohue was just able to cut him off.
Cole Holland lifted it back into the offensive zone for Canon-Mac, but it'll be Seth Hanna of Peters Township. Hanna over to Ryder Mertens. Mertens takes a look. Good little pass here to Foltz in front of the Canon-Mac bench. He gets it over the blue line, takes a big bump from Trottier, but he made the play to get the puck in deep. Under 4 to go in the first. 0-0, Canon-Mac and Peters Township. Thank you for listening on the Facebook Live feed on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest page. Christian Biscardo will put that off the skate blade of Abbott. It hops up into the air, and Dabkowski drags it in over the line, but the Indians are offside with Slavin a step ahead of the play.
We got 3:38 here remaining. I want to touch back on what we were talking about a couple seconds ago. I think that the pace of this game has been great. Both teams are working hard. I think that's a little bit putting into the why there are no whistles for the infractions, because it was just hard work plays every time you think you see something there.
And no scoring chance has been denied yet either.
Yeah,
it's been plenty of extracurricular stuff, but nothing that egregious and nothing that has prevented a team from getting a look.
And in a game like this, you don't want to police it too hard too early, because you just take all the emotion out of it.
Barrett backpedaling, found Hanna up into the neutral zone. Now he'll backpedal and back to Barrett. Look out. Difficult pass to take. Garver knocked him down. Puck's loose just outside the Peters line. And on his back foot, it'll be Abbott sliding it ahead. Right back to the Canon-Mac line, and they give it right away to the Indians again. It'll be Hanna over to Barrett near side. Barrett looks up, put it off the leg of Garver. Garver spins it deep, but Wilbert will stick it away from in behind his net at least. Taken on by Hanna. Hanna relays to Drew Wilbert. Top line out there for the Tribe. Drew Wilbert cuts back, exits the zone, but the puck squirted away from him. Garver made the play, and now Passiou drives it down below the Peters Township goal line. Jake Bush gets his legs pumping. Bush down the left side, spun around and knocked down. Another clean check in the neutral zone by Taryn Prezel this time of Canon-Mac, but the puck keeps going into the Canon-Mac zone. It'll be Drew Wilbert shooting a puck, and it's off the leg of Price. Price now ahead to Josh Ripp. Ripp prevents Bush from clearing past him on the far side boards. Now the Indians will try the near side. Eric Wilbert, plenty of room to skate. He gets it to the red line and goes with the cross corner soft dump. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the first period. I'm Matt Geico with Brian Mitchell. Thanks for joining us tonight from South Point, PA. The South Hills rivalry renewed, icing here against the Big Macs of Canon-McMillan. We'll bring it on back down to our right for a draw adjacent to Mario Iafrate.
The hitting's decreasing in quantity, but increasing in quality here. You're seeing them go for bigger and bigger hits as we continue, and the opportunities are still there for both teams. One of these teams got to pop one in here real soon.
Canon-Mac has hit a dry spot. They scored 7 at Central Catholic, like I mentioned. Here's a shot wide from Gavin Dabkowski of Peters Township, and it appears the net is off its moorings, so that stops play. But since improving to 4-1 this season with that win at Central Catholic, that wild one a couple of weeks ago, the Big Macs suffered a 4-1 loss to Pine Richland here, and then up at Barrel, they were blanked 4-0 by the Seneca Valley Raiders. So just one goal in their last 2 games, make it 1 goal in their last 2 games, and almost another full period here. Barrett at center ice to McElhaney. He drags it into the offensive zone, Dylan McElhaney. The big junior winger pressed up against the boards by O'Donohue, and that pried the puck loose. Liam O'Donohue, sophomore defender, second varsity year. Great skating for a big man, and he plays it in deep and catches up to his own dump it. O'Donohue now laid out on the ice by Hanna, but here it comes off for a drive by Alvarado that's stuck. Rebound, score! Coming around the net and stuffing it in was Alvarado. He wrapped around his own rebound, and it bounced off the skate of Wilbert and high into the twine. And with 1:16 left in the first period, Canon-Mac has a 1-0 lead in the Miners' Cup.
Just a full effort play there, came around the net. Wilbert, I thought Wilbert had the play there, but I guess it bounced off of his pad and up and in on that wraparound. Just a perfect wraparound for Alvarado there.
Alvarado had to pull it off, as you mentioned, perfectly. He had to waste no time and not bobble it at all. And I thought Wilbert actually did a pretty good job of getting over.
I thought Wilbert had it on the play as I was projecting it through. It looked like Wilbert was going to be able to get across and get the pad on it, but I think the angle of the pad is where it played in there, and it just bounced off of his pad as he came around, up into the net, then off the inside of the net. 1-0, Canon-McMillan.
We have a discussion with the referees Morgan and Seelock, talking to Rick Tingle at the Peters Township bench, and now over to Ryan Lamberger at the Canon-Mac bench area. And I'm not certain. O'Donohue is now skating out on the ice, going for a skate. I don't know what that was all about.
He had something.
Oh, he had to
else
find
fell out.
something.
Something fell off. Another piece of debris on the ice.
It's either a piece of tape or, again, it was about the size of a mouth guard or a butt end. It's tough to tell what exactly that was. I don't know why someone on the ice already couldn't find that, but at any rate, maybe it belongs to O'Donohue. Back in the Peters Township end, Foltz pressured from behind by Alvarado, the goal scorer, but the Indians are able to clear it out at least. Now Foltz charging ahead, good forecheck. Brace Center's in tow with him. Center from the corner, shot it there, right on goal, right into the CM on the crest of the jersey of Mario Iafrate, and he hangs on as he pins it there with 51 seconds left in the first period. 1-0, Canon-Mac on the Dakota Albarano goal. The senior strikes with his second of the season.
You had to guess that something was going to pop there. The two teams were getting opportunity after opportunity, and it took one of those extra effort opportunities to get the goal.
Hunter Ferguson shot it, blocked down, center to floating shot into the chest of Iafrate, and he grabs it again.
Deceptive shot there, bounced around a little bit in front, just chipped it a little bit on net. Wasn't a lot on it, and Iafrate was able to locate it and just fall on it.
This is one of two games tonight. Upper St. Clair is at Central Catholic this evening as well. Shots on goal are 9-8 in favor of Canon-Mac, according to our live box score on PIHLhockey.com. Jake Bush will drive it ahead for PT. Half minute to go in the first period. No intermission, at least not the traditional type of intermission with the Zamboni ride. But the two teams take a break. It'll be Ford getting this back from Rip on the give and go, and Wilbert made a save. He pushed over to the left post. So mark that one down. Ford and Rip worked the two-man game and nearly came to fruition, but it's still 1-0.
Those two are ever so dangerous on the passes. They know where each one is on the ice at any given time. I've watched it 100 times already this season, and I've only covered about 3 of their games.
Well, you mentioned you saw them at the Icebreaker tournament, and they went all the way to the final before losing to Bethel Park.
Mm-hmm. Looked really strong, and I actually really liked, I liked how the team was built this year. They were deeper than they were in the last couple seasons. And Iafrate, another year wiser.
Out to the line, offensive zone draw for the Indians, and Ferguson chops a bouncing puck on net. Iafrate kicked it out, and there's your buzzer, ending the first period of play. No penalties and just the one goal scored by Dakota Albarano of Canon-Mac. It's a 1-0 Big Mac's advantage through 17 minutes at Prince-Scape Arena. Like I mentioned, a quick breather for both teams. Then they'll get back at it. Looks like shots were 10-8 with Canon-Mac on top. Pretty even stuff, though. Make it 10-9 on that last shot from Hunter Ferguson out by the blue line. Thanks again. Also, if you're watching tonight or whenever you're watching on Peters Township Community Television, Channel 7, we're also simulcasting there for a tape delay broadcast. And coming to you live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. I'm Matt Geika. Brian Mitchell is the voice you hear alongside. And looks like Upper St. Clair is up 3-0 on Central Catholic at the Alpha Ice Complex in our only other game tonight. So the Panthers continue to impress in their return to AAA. They came in here, of course, and won a 5-4 game. That was a thriller a couple of weeks ago.
Franklin and Shaler at Alpha in the second half of that one. They're going to start at 9. I'm going to be covering the Ringgold and Trinity game here post this one. So I'll be regular in the rink there. Blackhawk and Westmont Hilltop. Westmont Hilltop defeated Blackhawk 3-1. Kiski over North Catholic 1-0 at Center Ice Arena. That should be in the second. And then North Hills Wheeling Park, Beaver and Bishop McCord are what's left on Class A today.
Go to berghockey.com for all your PIHL coverage from Class AAA on down. The second period has begun from Prince-Scape, and the Indians have the puck first. It'll be Seth Hanna driving wide down the left wing on his forehand side. Hanna dispossessed near the corner. Jack Zakin helps get it back, though, and now Hanna, he lost it to Logan Ford out high in the Canon-Mac zone. From the sideboards here, Zachary Wilcox looks on as Anthony Petrillo, the freshman, will play it ahead for Canon-Mac. Ripped it on goal by Anthony Abbott, junior defender. Abbott goes to the corner, shot another one as the puck came right back to him, and he fired that off the outside of the goal frame. Players come together in the corner. It'll be flipped up to the line, but no further. Still in the Peters Township zone. Indians now attacking from our right to left in this second period. Zakin, not a lot of options. He'll just lift it up the far side wall. Comes right back in on Seth Hanna, but Canon-McMillan's going to make a change here. Hannah floats it ahead, glove down by John Camp. Camp breaks in, Camp scores! He went forehand, backhand, forehand, and stuffed it in past Friday for a 1-1 tie with 15:48 to go in the second. Looked like nothing at all going on, and instead Seth Hannah hooked up on the Hail Mary, if you will, the fly pattern up the seam, and Camp just grabbed it, put it down, everything legal, and scored his 4th goal of the year.
We do have a little bit of an argument coming from the Canon-Mac bench. It was close. I mean, that was legal. It was. I agree that he didn't get his hand closed on it, but it was really close to look like he possibly did at that point. But he made it. That was good. John Camp, another goal in his short tenure this season again for Peters Township.
4 goals in 6 games for John Camp, replicating that pace he had, or nearly replicating it, he had last year, his first varsity season.
Like I said, he won a Player of the Week award for us coming up for 1 game, so can't complain about that.
Shot this one, looking for his 2nd goal, and Wilbert fell back into his net, but he made the save. Here are the Indians, maybe a chance here. Biscardo reaching to try to pass that to the middle, and it's broken up. Broken up by Stratton, rather. Now Rip back. Josh Rip slings it wide of the net from the right dot.
Both teams found another gear.
Stanton over to Prezel now in this right corner. Camp scoring from Hannah and Zakin. Back in front of the Indians' net. Deflected out to the point. O'Donohue put it off the body of Biscardo with a high wrist shot. And Biscardo will lean back and toss it high into the air, and down the ice it goes. Not far enough for icing, though. Stops there. It'll be Blake Stanton. Long headman delivery attempt, but it soars right past. Was that Josh Rip? Yes, it was. And goes for an icing call. So right back into the Canon-Mac zone. The faceoff will go. 14:44 to go in the second. It's 1-1. Alvarado for Canon-Mac. John Camp for Peters Township.
I keep forgetting that I have a scoreboard and updating.
Yes, we do have
I handle the scoreboard on
again.
here.
With graphics this time.
We're working on it. Hopefully we'll be able to roll it with actual video next
yes,
time.
That'll be
and
the
I
goal.
won't forget what I need. That was on me, guys.
That'll be the goal next Tuesday
Yeah.
as PT hosts Pine Richland here.
Oh, I can't wait for that matchup.
The Rams return to AAA. Foltz takes this puck at the center red line. Nearly gave it away, but Bray Center will take advantage of the overskate by Prezel of Canon-Mac. Now it's Foltz looking to guide a pass toward the front of the net. That's broken up again. Foltz gets a shot away on the centering play from behind the net by Ryder Mertens, and Mertens again takes a shot at the side of the net by Chris Pedro this time. Well, Mertens is taking the punishment, but he's making the plays. The freshman lefty out there, crafty, and again, it gets on a puck, this time behind the net, and created a chance for Anthony Foltz right at the top of the blue paint.
Boys will be boys out there, starting to get a little bit chippy, and you're starting to see it in front of the net a little more and more as we continue to go on in this game.
I'd love to have the goalpost mic'd up or something to hear some of the chatter.
I wouldn't.
Well, not for our broadcast, but I'd love to just hear it myself. For my own edification.
I could probably do it.
You probably could. Eric Wilbert off to Seth Hannah. Cross rink. Barrett shooting, deflected in! It went in off the skate of Drew Wilbert in front, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Tribe. Not intentional, but it counts all the same. Wilbert was making a flyby through the crease. Barrett's shot was along the ice, and it caromed home. 13:53 to go in the second. The Indians have their first lead.
You saw that at the end of that North Allegheny game last week. They just started to throw things on net, take chances. That was Barrett. Barrett, I believe, what was it? Barrett scored that one last week, too.
Yeah.
Shot that from, then put it wide on Boyles and ended up there. You look at it, and Wilbert in front of the net, just skate down, innocent redirect. 2-1 Peters Township here.
No kick, not even close. I think Drew Wilbert was a little bit scared to celebrate too much at first. He was perhaps nervous about the play being overturned. Rip in front, Josh Rip! Oh, he couldn't score! Wilbert held it out, and the post comes off on the left side, but a bouncing play, nearly a really good break for Canon-Mac. It was a good break for them to get that bounce. It hopped right loose to their leading scorer, Rip, but he couldn't deposit goal number 11 on the season.
He had a real good opportunity there. Wilbert got over to the post real fast, put some pressure on it. That was not 90% of the reason we have a whistle there. It's because of just the pressure that Wilbert put on that post to make sure that puck stayed out.
A couple of times he's been falling back into his crease, or into his net, I should say, from his crease.
Camp, again, getting an opportunity here.
Camp reaching
finish
ahead
the
to
play.
pressure. Now Ferguson steps up, overlaps on the left side to shoot it in. Camp from behind the net, couldn't take the puck with him. He was checked off it nicely by Passiu. Garver and Passiu and Rip, the top line out there for Canon-Mac. Here's Rip. Flips a shot over the top of the net from the high slot. Rip's on it now. Rip on his backhand now, his forehand in the corner. Checked, but he made the play over to Daniel Garver, fellow senior. To the point, and O'Donohue. O'Donohue couldn't get it by Zakin. He flops it ahead again. Camp is running the down and out, but this time he couldn't control the bouncing pass. It wasn't high enough for him to just glove it. Camp gets it going again. One-man rush. John Camp to the right circle and below the dot and shot it. But it's right into the chest of Friday. No further play with 12:33 left in the second.
Camp's out here making an argument for a permanent roster spot the remainder of the season. I mean, you got to play 10 games to be eligible for the playoffs. So you're going to have a lot of movement in and out of the lineup. They just released that in the past week, the rules for that. To be eligible for the postseason, you have to play 10 games in AAA. So, now you're going to start playing issues with the lineup, and I think he's earned his way into the lineup for a more extended look this season.
He just barely made eligibility the last year. I know that was a point that Rick Tingle wanted to get him to, and you see why. Such an explosive athlete.
You want to give him that experience in his younger years and then watch it pay off in his junior and senior year like he is so far.
Hanna turns one way, then fired it off the wall. Biscardo coming back. Look out. Slavin was checked hard by Trottier. But Trottier's on a mission tonight to cause some pain, it seems like. Barrett's backhand up to the middle. Slavin misfired on that pass looking for Biscardo. Indians are in the midst of a change. Dabkowski stays out, though, to pressure the Canon-Mac defense. This time it's Zachary Wilcox up the center of the ice, broken up. Dabkowski got around Trottier. Dabkowski's open on the left circle, and he shot off the shoulder of Friday, and it jumped into the netting just barely. Otherwise, Dabkowski was ready to glove it down and go back to work. Gavin Dabkowski, Jr., 1 goal on the year. That's his only point in 8 games, but wow, that was quite the rush and quite the jaunt for him. Burst of energy as he was at the end of his shift even.
That was really close to being off that net. I couldn't call it from here because I was close, but a lot of argument there on that one. That was a quick whistle.
Anthony Foltz wins the faceoff for the Indians. It's Bush shooting, and never got through, and the rebound, Foltz put it off the outside of the goal. Ferguson charges down the wall for the Indians to keep it alive, but O'Donohue makes the play, grabs the puck, lifted it ahead. Garver's got it. Garver, one hand on the stick, couldn't get past Bush, and he's checked in behind the goal. Still no penalties in this game, by the way.
Wow.
A couple of the Canon-Mac fans down to my right were up in arms, literally, about that. No call.
I got to agree with them there.
Yeah, I thought it would look pretty close to some sort of obstruction with the stick. Ferguson will toss this bouncer in on Friday, and he holds on with a couple of Indians right there in his kitchen. 11:02 left before the second intermission.
I understand letting them play, but what is going to be required to get a penalty in this game, have a penalty called? And you got to start asking that question if you're starting to see the big hits and the stick infractions like we just saw there.
2-1 Peters Township. Indians trailed 1-0 after one period, but 2 quick ones here in the second. One from Camp, one from Drew Wilbert. For Drew Wilbert, it's his 7th of the year. Second on the team to Mark Lehman. Here's Eric Wilbert, deking, dragging, and leaving it there for his brother Drew. Back to Eric in the corner. Eric, the dish out to the blue line. Hanna takes it, fakes it, now passes over to Barrett, who shot it right through traffic, and Mark Lehman was trying to tip it. Couldn't get a stick on it.
Icing.
Cleared down by Canon-Mac. No icing. It's waved off. Ruled that Barrett could have gotten back there, I suppose. Garver to Rip. Shot it off of Wilbert's body and just wide of the net. From the right side. I think something from nothing is the theme tonight. It's been quick attacks. Now Drew Wilbert looks to backhand this one in front, but it hit the outside of the net. Rip couldn't get to that puck as Eric Wilbert reached in with that stick like a serpent, just flicked it out there. Knocked the puck away, and this will be an icing call against Canon-Mac as they were under some pressure.
I think that's the first time all game so far that a team has had pressure down deep. It has been back and forth so often, and to actually get a cycle in, I think, for Peters Township was something you didn't get to see the entire game up to this point.
Right, it has been either 1 or 1 and 2 and done for the most part.
It's been a fun one to watch. This game has been a very fun game back and forth, and to be 2-1 at this point is Very lucky for both teams.
Great to be back here from our nice vantage point to call the game, too. Nothing against the Barrel Ice Complex, but I like being a few more rows higher. Can see plays develop a little better. McElhaney, after the scramble draw. Bush, again a shot through a screen, and it hit the outside of the net again. Camp, pinned to the wall by Trottier, but he kept the puck for PT. The Indians attacking the goal down to our left. Camp plucked it free, and he tried to run through everybody and was poke checked by Friday at the last moment.
I think it's also nicer because the roof is a little higher than 5 feet above the ice, above the glass level. So the play continues as you can just punch the puck a little bit higher.
That's a good point. That Seth Hanna aerial pass may not have worked at Barrel. May have hit the ceiling or a rafter.
Frozen Pond or any of the other AAA teams.
McElhaney cruises in for a wrist shot that Trottier deflects out of play. Yeah, good point. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, Mount Lebanon Ice, maybe. You'd probably be able to play that out there, but not at the Spencer Valley YMCA. None of those. You're not going to be able to make those plays here. You can make that play, not hit the Jumbotron in the center, hit the scoreboard here. And the scoreboard's up really high.
That's the lowest thing, right?
Yeah.
The scoreboard and the speakers. This, of course, the former practice home of the Penguins. For a long time it was. Before the new facility was built in Cranberry 3 years ago. Might be 4 years ago at this point, in fact. Caden Slavin on the chase back for Peters Township. Caden Mack goes on the forecheck, but the Indians and Biscardo do deflect it out just outside the line. Would have been a delayed offside as the Big Mac shot it right back in. Prezel's on the chase here. Barrett for the PT Indians. Adabkowski angled it with his skate into the middle. Good little play there to Caden Slavin. Slavin is bumped hard by O'Donohue, and he gets the puck now, does O'Donohue. O'Donohue to Prezel. Wheels and turns this puck down ice. No icing here. Again, it's ruled that Barrett dummied the play a little too much, and so PT's got to make something of it. Hanna, dangerous play right at the center of the ice. That flip, he didn't get a lot on it, but fortunately for him, Chase Dabkowski put in the hard shift in his own end to get the puck loose, and it'll be Barrett now driving it in deep. Behind the goal it goes. Friday couldn't stop it. 8:13 to go in the second period. 2-1 Peters Township. I've already seen one lead change in this game. Price, that's Nicholas Price, jams that puck ahead for Canon Mack. Stopping and going out the other way is Seth Hanna down the right wing. Hanna to centered. He couldn't glove it down cleanly. Just inside the PT line. Price falls down. Swatted by Passiu. No hand pass as Center was the next one to touch it for the Indians. PT at 4-4, Canon Mack at 4-3. And these two teams tied for sixth place. Three-way tie for sixth place in AAA right now. Garver will take a lead pass. He works one-on-one here against Barrett. Garver shot it from the left circle, just inside the dot, and it's between the legs of Wilbert, and he presses those pads together to get the whistle.
Nice little opportunity there. He had Rip coming up down the center slot, probably looking for that bounce off of the pad or the chest of Wilbert. Was able to just corral that puck in and keep it from coming out. Rip had an opportunity there.
Now on the draw is Mark Lehman of PT against Josh Rip of Canon Mack. And what's this stoppage? Referee Morgan is gliding over to the Peters Township bench. Oh, there's another. Is that a butt end on the ice again down there to our left?
It's been very physical here today. Things could be getting jogged out of the sticks.
I guess so.
Who exactly knows what is going on here?
I've not seen this much debris on the ice in a game. I don't know.
Maybe
even
once
in the 4
a
years
month,
I've been doing this.
Maybe once a month, if that. In every game that I've covered, that I've seen this 3 times in just under 2 periods here, 7:30. So yeah, a period and a half.
Jake Bush goes behind the goal. We are back to play.
That makes up for the high roof and not hitting stanchions all the time.
I suppose so. We have to have some stoppages somehow, some way. Josh Rip on it. Josh Rip lost control.
Check your equipment at the door, folks.
Drew Wilbert will barrel back for the Indians. Wilbert shot it. It was blocked. Comes loose in the slot. Oh, nearly shoveled home by Lehman and then Eric Wilbert as well. But the puck bounced away from both of them at the left post.
Lehman missed it on the backhand, Wilbert on the forehand.
Rip lowers his shoulder, driving ahead with the puck, but he couldn't get past Hunter Ferguson. Rip wanted to put it between his stick and his skates in that little triangle area, if you will. and could not pull it off. But now Rip's on the puck. He's got Abbott going to the goal, but Ferguson again swallows him up and drops him to the ice. No penalty upcoming here either. We've had no penalties in this game. We remind you again, Lehman taps it ahead. Mark Lehman's got a breakaway from the blue line. Lehman's backhand scores! Mark Lehman's got his 10th, and the Indians have a 3-1 lead with 6:26 to go in the second. Unassisted goal, Mark Lehman poked it away from the Canon-Mac defense and skated in all alone against Iafrate. And Brian, he used that long reach of his. It's tough when you go from one side to the other for a goaltender to get that pad to the post.
Oh, it was definitely a heck of a breakaway there. Just took the passes around a couple. We've got a lot of controversy on that play.
Right, because as I was alluding to, it was close to a penalty. Looked like a takedown. I don't know if I would have called it necessarily, but another borderline play.
You had a little bit of possibility on a hold, maybe a little interference there. A lot of things that could have been called on that play, a little too much effort put into it. Referees did not call it, so they're going to. So now there's a lot of argument. That's the second time that something happened against Canon-McMillan right now that led to an argument with things. So we're starting to get a little bit of the boo birds here on the blue side.
And Ryan Lamberger, the Canon-Mac coach, wants an explanation. He'll get it from both referees, Morgan and
he's beside
Sealock.
himself down there on the bench.
The entire coaching staff is.
3-1 Peters Township right now with that breakaway.
So Mark Lehman gets back on the board. It's been a couple of games for him.
And there's another
collision with Ford, and I didn't see who it was for the Indians coming together. Now Ford and Barrett go after each other. Barrett knocked down Ford away from the play, and boy, I thought that was going to be a call. Now Ford is jawing at Barrett. The play continues up to our left. You can hear the crowd getting incensed to our right. That's where the Canon-Mac fans are stationed tonight.
The captain's just getting out there and trying to get something going here.
Camp will chase in the offensive zone.
This is kind of what I was concerned about not calling anything. Now it's going to start being policed by the players, and that's not a situation you want to see out here.
No, definitely not. McElhaney check Pedro, and it's right back in the hands of the Indians, but the pass goes off the skate of Zakin. Back to McElhaney, tries to give it back to Zakin. Zakin has it as a Big Mac fell down. Camp high in the slot. Camp shot it. That hit the post or the crossbar and hops wide of the net. Back in front again. Camp got a goal in this game. Handed it off on the back end to Zakin left side. Hanna shooting, deflected. Camp! Oh, Iafrate made a save on that.
What a robbery.
It was a half open net and Camp couldn't feed it in. Iafrate pushed over. How about it? Still 3-1. McElhaney from the corner. This one's getting good. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Well, it's been good for a while. We've enjoyed this one tonight. And now there's a check from behind. Not a smart play from Jack Zakin.
And there it is.
And there's some cross checks coming from McElhaney. And he was going after Dakota Albarano. Pedro's going to have to be separated from the group. I don't know why Jack Zakin felt the need to do that, but it's going to be a penalty against him, at least him.
As I said, that's what it's going to take, is one of those risky plays. That's something you didn't need to do.
Cross-check is the call against Zakin, and it appears no other penalties on the board from that fracas. 4:59 remaining, and Canon-Mac gets a big chance here to hop back into it. First power play of the game for either side.
Just a stick. I was going to say more Dupree, but it's just a stick coming out. Looks like it's got a Canon-Mac player.
Canon-McMillan on the year, 4 for 30 on the power play. That's 13%. 10th out of 11 teams. And Peters Township's penalty kill, 85%. They've allowed 6 in 40 opportunities against. That's third in the league. 3-1 Peters Township. Now the Indians shorthanded have the puck. It'll be Eric Wilbert in the corner, offensive zone, left side. He's confronted by 3 Big Macs, and the puck hops free. Wilcox. His pass was weakened, but it still got through to Rip. Rip now navigates through a couple of teammates and gets it over the line down the right wing side. Rip pulls up in the corner. He's being checked by Ferguson. It's been Ferguson against Rip, it seems like, all night. Good one-on-one battle. Garver at the point now for Canon-Mac. The handoff to Trottier. Trottier back to the line, and Garver. Far side. A shot by Wilcox was blocked in front, never got through to Wilbert. Wilcox pushed down by Eric Wilbert, but now it comes free out to Garver at the blue line again. Garver's shot looking for a deflection. Rip was in front, but he put it wide of his teammate. Now Barrett will drive it around the boards. He saw there was no one at that left point, and Barrett got it out with 4 minutes to go in the second period. 1 minute left on the Jack Zakin cross-checking minor. Indians up by 2. Late stages before the ice cut. Garver slows it down for Canon-Mac. He'll get his legs churning, get it over the line.
Good
legs
pass.
taken out from under him, and Trottier took the shot off the drop pass, and no rebound from Alex Wilbert. It's one of those plays where it looked like Garver was on his way down before the alleged trip occurred. Another close one, though.
I think he just fell. He went down to his legs, and then just he made a nice pass back to Trottier and to get that shot on. So good play. Now Canon-Mac's got to use this momentum.
Wilcox fanned on a bouncing puck. He went for the full baseball-style swing to whack it out of the air to no avail. Rip doing curlicues in the corner. Rip burrows in behind the Peters Township net. Rip the handoff to Wilcox. Out high, it's Garver. Over to Trottier, one-timer, booted out by Alex Wilbert to the corner. Garver from the line, deflected on goal by Rip, saved by Wilbert, and he swats the rebound away as he dived out of his net. 9 seconds to go on the power play.
Big dive by Wilbert.
And
Right on doorstep.
there's Drew Wilbert, his brother, gunning it down the ice. Penalty over. Peters Township has survived that. Canon-Mac still with just the 1 goal on the board. Rip couldn't flag down this bank pass ahead, but now it's the giveaway from Bush onto Rip. Tried to cut back against the grain, but Bray Center was able to run him off enough to lose the puck. Camp downshifts, shoots, save, rebound at the side of the net near the post, and with Bray Center right there looking for a loose puck, Friday jumped down on top of it for Canon-Mac. That was Drew Wilbert in there with John Camp just after the penalty expired, and the Indians went back to full strength. Almost a broken play type of goal.
Yeah, Camp came in, took the shot, had to make Friday dive to the opposite side. Wilbert still in the crease, had to make sure he covered that pass.
Puck dropped and Canon-Mac controls. O'Donohue slugs it on the backhand. Prezel couldn't clear for the Big Macs. From behind the net, it'll be Blake Stanton. Stanton cross rink on left wing Price. Price working 1-on-2. Price's backhand. He had Prezel making a late move to the goal, but didn't get through.
Moser.
Now blocked down. Levi Moser will take it behind the net. Moser and Prezel and Price, the forward line out for Canon-Mac. A big, powerful line. You look at these guys. Look like all 6 feet and above. But the Indians break it up. It'll be Center shoving it ahead, and Mertens
Offsides, got him.
back to Camp. Delayed offside. Camp had to wait for his line mates to jump back into the neutral zone, and they did before he shot in. 1:55 to go in the second period. I'm Matt Geica with Brian Mitchell. It's a 3-1 Peters Township lead in the Miners Cup game. Barrett banged to the end wall by O'Donohue, but it'll be Ferguson clearing down and out for the Indians. And now Stanton has to turn and go get it with Dabkowski pressuring him. He fed it to Garver on the bank pass. Garver to the middle of the ice. But Trottier couldn't handle it. Pardon, that was Moser actually. Now Peters Township will send it up ahead, and this will be too deep. It'll be an icing call. 1:27 to go in the second period. 3 goals in this second for Peters Township. Camp, Wilbert, and Lehman. 3 of the usual suspects for Rick Tingle's team.
It's good to see both teams have started to calm down a little bit here. We're able to just get back to playing hockey.
Wrist shot from, was that Blake Stanton over there? No, that's Garver, pardon me. Daniel Garver. 93, not 83. I only complain about the numbers. They're a little bit tough to read, the 8s and the 9s and the 6s.
They have a lot of high numbers here.
That is true as well, yeah.
So.
More high numbers than most. I think half their team is above 30. At least on the roster of players who have played at least 1 game this year for them. Again, it's a big varsity roster, much like Peters Township. 2 programs that are very healthy at this point. 2 teams that have had a lot of success in Class AAA and just overall. That's why this game is usually a good one. We saw a playoff matchup between these 2 last year, won by PT 3-0 in the first round. Lehman has some room. Lehman dropped it back over the line. It'll be shot into the goal by Eric Wilbert. A snipe to the top shelf, and it's 4-1 with 1:04 left before the intermission. And suddenly the Indians are in full command nearing the end of the second period. And you don't want to give Mark Lehman that much room and that ability to build up speed, because then he just pushed the D back, and it was Eric Wilbert who skated into that open spot.
Just an innocent shot from the circle, and Wilbert just put it top cheese, and it was a beautiful, beautiful placement on it to make it a 4-1 lead.
Well, I talked in the pregame about looking for more. Well, wait for that as Rip will get a backhand away from the edge of the left circle off the sharp pass by Garver, incisive into the high-scoring area. But, again, Rip could not finish that as Wilbert made the save. Anyway, I was talking about looking for depth of scoring. Well, now that the top line has accounted for 3 of the 4 goals for the Indians, so they're getting it going again. Both Wilberts, both Wilbert forwards, I should say, and Lehman have goals tonight. 4-1, and that one's out of play. 57 seconds to go in the second period.
Face off to the right of Wilbert here.
Off the draw, chopped ahead by Debkowski. Could not get that out. Rip will get a shot away from right between the circles, and it's blockered aside by Wilbert. Can't say that Rip hasn't had his chances in this game. That's at least 2 or 3 that he would probably tell you he should put into the net. 41 seconds left. Another icing call, this one against Peters Township.
We talk about the resume of Wilbert and everything early, the state championship, all that early in his career. But he's just grown every season on top, and the reflexes this year, they're probably the best I've ever seen from him.
Well, he's always been positionally sound, but I think you're right. He's adding a little more athleticism, a little more quick twitch to his game.
The maturity on top of it, too, going into his senior year.
He's always been calm, too, belying his age and inexperience level. And now, yeah, he's got all the experience in the world, as much as a goaltender has ever had in PIHL. Centered out high in the offensive zone, 20 seconds to go in the second period. Indians trying to add another one. Ferguson overskated that pass, couldn't take it cleanly from Foltz. And now Foltz is back in behind the net and swings a backhand feed in front for Mertens, but that's clicked away from his stick. Down to 8 seconds to go in the frame. Foltz, now Mertens. They work the cycle in the far corner. The dish out to the line. It'll be Barrett shooting, and Iafrate had to fight through the screen of his own player, Trottier, as that one soared wide at the horn. So it was 1-0 Canon-Mac after 1. Now it's 4-1 in favor of Peters Township after 2. Quite the turnaround. Kemp, Drew Wilbert, Lehman, and Eric Wilbert, your goal scorers in that period. And they started early, Brian, and they finished it off late, too. So now PT in, I don't want to say full control, but what a job to change the momentum in this one, because it looked like it was going to be going in favor of Canon-Mac after 1 period.
You know what? You had that feeling as this game was progressing that it was just going to break open at some point on one side, and you weren't sure which way it was going to go, because Canon-McMillan got several key opportunities, like A-plus opportunities, gold star opportunities, and weren't able to put it home. And they're still getting them as we go. Peters Township just taking advantage of the emotion of the moment, in my eyes, if you think about it. The opportunity down there in the corner with them possibly, and I'll say possibly, missed call down in the corner, being able to break Lehman the other way. One of those things off of Wilbert's foot. The things we were talking about last week against North Allegheny, the bounces, the taking chances, things like that are starting to come around for Peters Township, and you're starting to feel that momentum that you felt the last couple seasons late in the year.
Shots on goal in that second period. Peters Township had 10. Canon-McMillan had 7 for the game. It's 19-17 with PT on top. We'll take a break here and bring it back for, well, Brian will give you the PIHL scoreboard in just a bit, and then we'll have your third period, and who knows, maybe beyond, if Canon-Mac can get this thing turned around. It's the Miners Cup game, and we're bringing it to you live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Facebook page. Stay with us. And showdown turned in that second period in a big way toward the team wearing black tonight, the Indians of PT. John Camp, Drew Wilbert, Mark Lehman, and Eric Wilbert all scored consecutively in that middle period to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 4-1 lead for the defending Penguins Cup finalists, the PT Indians. They've been all the way to the final in 3 straight years. They won it in 17, made the finals in 18 and 19, losing to Seneca Valley and North Allegheny respectively. Canon-Mac won the Western PA title in 2015, trying to get back to that level. They're going to try to get back into this game as play continues or play begins for the third third period of play. I'll get it right eventually. Can't even complain that it's a late start. No excuses. Backhand by Taryn Prezel. Up into the neutral zone. It'll be taken on by Josh Ripp. Ripp cuts and shoots. It's off of Lehman and then bounces off of Wilbert. And it's pinned down by Wilbert at the edge of the crease. Wow, that puck was loose for a long time, but Canon-Mac couldn't find it. Ripp and Garver were both hunting, and Lehman used his big frame, as did Hunter Ferguson, to protect the house, if you will, and keep Wilbert from having to really scramble and look for that one. It was right next to his left pad. He eventually found it. I think it caromed off his mask as well on its way to the net. So Lehman will take the draw here against Josh Ripp. The Indians control. Seth Hanna ahead off the boards for Drew Wilbert. Eric reaches out, but he can't take the lead pass. O'Donohue broke it up for Canon-Mac. 16:20 to go in regulation, and ticking away on Canon-Mac. They need 3 at least. Shot from out high by Stanton. Didn't get through. Hit his own man, Garver. Now Ripp. He's pinned to the boards, as is Logan Ford. Ford and Stanton and Ripp are all out there right now for Ryan Lamberger's Big Macs. In the neutral zone, McElhaney couldn't get past O'Donohue. Ripp trying to pull this one off the kick plate on the near side, and he will. Again, a strong move to the forehand. Ripp couldn't shoot it. It was blocked, and it caroms right in on Wilbert. Alex Wilbert stops that puck, stops the music. 15:43 remaining in the third. Again, it's 4-1 Peters Township. Dakota Albarano, though, scored first for Canon-Mac with 1:16 left in the first period. But the Indians got on top quickly early in the second, scoring 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes and change to turn that deficit into an advantage. And now here's a bouncing lead pass. John Camp will take it. Camp cut in with a quick hockey stop, but his skates betrayed him. He fell down, and the puck squirted away to the near side boards. Trottier couldn't gun this one past Zakin. To the point it goes, and Ferguson shoots, and it's sticked away from the net by Mario Iafrate. The junior goaltender for Canon-McMillan came into this game with a .905 save percentage. That's going to get knocked down a couple of pegs tonight as McElhaney shot it over the net from the bottom edge of the left circle. Peters Township again back on it. It'll be Bush shoveling it off the boards. Camp couldn't take it with him past Passiou. And so once again, PT has to try to rev it up from its own end. It'll be McElhaney guiding it forward and going off for the change. Indians sending their rookie line of Foltz and Centered and Mertens out. And they're forechecking hard, but the Big Macs force the puck out to center ice. Mertens on the back track and retrieval for the Indians. Mertens down the left wing, gains the line. Then he was stood up by Chris Pedro, had to chip it in deep. At the right point, forcing it back in to the half wall area is Seth Hanna. Now Ryder Mertens. Mertens backhand from below the right circle. That kick save was made by Iafrate. And now the puck's picked up in the neutral zone again by the Indians. Hanna trying to find Mertens as he made a cut to the far side. The pass eluded his reach. It'll be an icing call against PT. 14:03 remaining in this one, or at least in regulation time. That's what Canon-Mac hopes, that it's just regulation time. Canon-McMillan trying to avoid losing its third in a row after a 4-1 start. Meanwhile, Peters Township has been wobbly since winning its first 2 on the year. PT was 2-0 after beating Bethel Park and Mount Lebo. Actually, Peters Township was 3-0, pardon me. They took care of Butler, but then North Allegheny started a 3-game losing streak for Peters Township that they broke just before their bye week at Central Catholic. This will be Drew Wilbert now shooting, and it's guided away again to the side wall by Iafrate. Lehman laid a strong check on the kneeling Anthony Abbott, and fortunately for Abbott, he was able to keep his head away from the top of the dasher board. That could have been a dangerous situation. I know the players all wear cages over their faces, but still. Could have been a neck or a high chest injury, but Abbott got his hands out. Bouncing puck out of the neutral zone. Drew Wilbert couldn't pull it away from Stanton of Canon-Mac, and it'll be taken back by Trottier. Trottier to Stanton. The two D-men play catch. Now in behind the goal to the far side wall. It's Stanton tossing it up the glass. Dabkowski gloved it forward, but right to Stanton again. Stanton headmans it. Too hard for Garver to handle at the offensive blue line. 12:51 remaining in the third period. No goals in this frame yet. Hanna lost his stick. He's going to glove this one along, and it'll be played by Christian Biscardo in the corner. That's legal in the defensive zone, of course. And Biscardo will find this puck, or pardon, that's Barrett, and he'll hook up with Biscardo. And over the blue line, Biscardo pulls up and shot it off the arm of Iafrate. Strong shot going for the top right corner, but Iafrate shrugged it away. Barrett stopping. Iafrate had 15 saves through 2 periods. He's getting close to 20 now, as PT has peppered him a few times in the first 5 minutes of this third period. O'Donohue just outside the PT blue line, couldn't get into the offensive zone for Canon-Mac. And back comes Caden Slavin of the Tribe. He'll rip it in behind the Canon-Mac goal and go off for a change. Quick change is the order of the day right now for the Indians. Don't want to get yourself out there trapped and give Canon-Mac a chance to get something cheap. McElhaney softly tosses a backhand ahead. Camp's going to be able to catch up to it in the right circle, but he couldn't get the shot off under pressure from O'Donohue. Camp on his forehand. Looked to play it to himself behind the net, but Pedro caught up to it and glanced it off the glass and out into the neutral zone. O'Donohue gets a chance again to start the breakout. Ripped the pass right off the stick of Camp, and up ahead come the Big Macs. It's Wilcox. But Camp, good back-checking effort to pry it loose and find Zakin in the neutral zone. Zakin, 10-foot pass up to McElhaney. He cruises into the offensive zone. McElhaney looking to stuff it, save, rebound. Iafrate has it on the outside of the net. Iafrate made a save there on Zakin's follow-up chance.
Sorry there, partner. I had to jump in there immediately. I was doing some business out there. I'll explain in a second. That's
no
off.
problem as the puck's deflected away from the front of the net by the Big Macs, and Iafrate knocked his net off.
Well, I figured I'd just let everybody know now while I was missing there. I've left Mr. Geika on his own accord. He's very good at that, by the way. I just want to let everybody out there in hockey, the Berg hockey world, know we are working on our due diligence of making sure that you guys get your best coverage from us that possible. And we are currently talking to teams about broadcast rights for their home games. And we did just get Trinity to agree. And tentatively, right now, one of our first Berg hockey nights is going to be next Monday. We're looking at the Island Sports Center. Greater Latrobe and Montour is going to be our opening contest. And we're looking at broadcast rights for the second game, which is going to be North Hills hosting Wheeling Catholic. So it's going to be exciting. It's tentative right now. We're waiting on the agreements.
Penalty coming up against Peters Township. Taryn Prezel lost his stick, and Ferguson, who's been feisty tonight for PT, he's about to be the man sent to the box. And the blue and gold fans to our right love it. They eat that up. Ferguson's gone. I don't know if that was a board. I didn't quite see the initial signal from the referees. 10:26 to go in the third. And Canon-Mac will get its second power play. Peters Township hasn't had one tonight. So great news, Brian. That's awesome.
We're working on it. We're looking at associations that want to just chime in and join along. We're going to be trying to improve and fill in a void that might have been placed there. We're working on some details as we go, but we will let you know as we go. Right now, tentatively, Monday night from the RMU Island Sports Center will be our first Berg Hockey Live broadcast of the season. It'll be me. I don't know if somebody else will be with me or not at this point, but we're working on it. All the details are coming together. We have to get final approval from all the associations involved, however, but want to let everybody know that we are moving along with what we need to do to make sure you guys get your rights, your hockey fix.
Well, the best local high school coverage just got better, I'll say that much, on berghockey.com. And thanks to you, Brian. I know Alan Saunders has been consulting on this too as well. So you guys have been working hard to
He's got a lot going on, but we're definitely trying to expand and do the best we can to give everybody what they want. Here we go.
Play broken up. Wilbert shorthanded for the Tribe. Wilbert down the left side, cutting in or trying to, but Wilcox knocked the puck away. More debris on the ice. I don't know what that is down behind the Canon-Mac goal. Either way, the Big Macs try to break it up and go ahead on the attack, but unable to do so. Lehman used that long reach to break up a An attempted pass over on this near wing side. And the Big Macs have to try again with 9 minutes to play in the third, still trailing at 4-1. Garver swinging into the offensive zone from left to right. Garver down below the goal. In behind and emerges out the left side. Garver waiting, still has it, shot it, and Wilbert made the stop off his chest. It drops down. He gloves it to the ice, and players tangle up in front. Well, we've got a real rodeo going on right now. Rip and Owen Barrett. Well, easily the most contentious moments I've seen in a game this year have happened tonight. 8:51 left in the third, 25 seconds remaining on Hunter Ferguson's penalty, which I believe was for boarding, but I didn't see exactly. Either way, this is Canon-Mac's second power play of the night. Pardon, it was cross-checking. And we have a roughing penalty coming up against Seth Hanna of Peters Township. This will make it a two-man advantage for Canon-Mac. So this one ain't over yet. 8:51 remaining in the third, and the Big Macs head coach Ryan Lamberger wants a timeout to talk things over, to talk strategy with his team. I didn't see what Hanna was up to. I know there was quite a lot going on in that fracas.
Yeah.
So, drama, or at least a little bit of it here. If Canon-Mac can get one, and of course they're dreaming of two here. They want to convert both ends, but if they can just get one, that'll get the crowd back into it on their side, and that'll help deliver them some more energy.
Do you expect any less on that one? I mean, the way this game's been going, these two teams going out, now Canon-McMillan getting a two-man advantage this with, 8:51 remaining in this one? So a lot of time, 3 goals. I mean, you pop one in here now, it's a new ball game.
So the timeout will also serve as a chance for the Indians and head coach Rick Tingle and Brandon Tingle and Cliff Bumford to go over some things on the defensive side. It looks like they'll send Mark Lehman out there to take the draw, and yeah, why not get the biggest body you can when you're down 2 men, along with Owen Barrett and Jake Bush. 2D and 1 forward for the Indians. Rip, Ford, Wilcox, Trottier, and Garver, the fivesome on the 2-man advantage for Canon-Mac. The faceoff's all important, and Rip drew it back. He tied up the stick of Lehman. So that's step 1 for Canon-Mac if they want to get back into this thing. Garver will gain the line easily as he skates in with a serpentine pattern. Garver from the left point to Wilcox, goes cross-ring. Trottier is open, shot it, save Wilbur, rebound. Oh, it's put off the post by Rip from point blank.
Had an opportunity, tried to just shuffle it in, throw it in, and just went over the net.
I thought it was in for a moment. Wilbert seemed to concede defeat. And another penalty coming. It's a slash, and this may kill the rest of the power play, as the first penalty has just expired to Ferguson just before that whistle. And it will be to Canon-Mac, a slashing penalty to Ford. So frustration, offensive zone penalty ends up costing the Big Macs, and it'll be a 4-on-4 for the next 1 minute and 31 seconds, barring any further penalties.
Those are the type of things you have to watch out for whenever you're down by 3 at a 5-on-3. Those type of frustration penalties are just going to end up killing your momentum.
Well, Josh Rip easily could have had 1, if not 2 or 3 goals tonight. He hits the post there on the 2-man advantage. That may have ended any legitimate comeback chances. So we'll skate 4-on-4 now. A lot of open ice. The team that trailing likes that, even though they would have liked the 2-man advantage goal a lot better. And the resulting power play they also would have had if that puck would have gone in. Camp yanks this puck away from Passio to be taken now by McElhaney. His backhand is into the glove of Iafrate, who saw it nicely through traffic, and he hangs on. 7:47 remaining in the third.
Well, with the trophy in the house, both teams are starting to feel it. The pressure's a little bit on Canon-McMillan here, but you can't count out Peters Township's pressure trying to hold on to this lead. It's been a rough go trying to hold on to leads for them recently.
Just in general, defensively, they have allowed more than they're used to. And tonight is a nice departure from that for them. Just the 1 goal conceded for Canon-Mac, just trying to get its offense going again. They've had some chances, not like they've been completely shut down. Garver to the outside. Behind the back pass to Rip. It's still loose. Rip. And he put that off of Wilbert and wide. Good save from Wilbert, but again, Rip had a clean look at the net. Garver pirouetting back into his own end for Canon-McMillan. Tries to get things revved up. Garver's had a lot of the puck tonight. He had to count touches like they do in soccer. He might have the most this evening. Ferguson kicking it along for PT in his own end. 7 minutes left in the third period. Rip staying out there trying to make something happen. Trying to atone for some previous misses. Ripped off the outside of the post by Anthony Abbott and cleared down and out by the Indians. Zakin skates after this puck. The Indians are on the power play now, albeit briefly. 20 seconds to go on their first man advantage chance of the night. 200-foot shot from Garver. Clicks in off the goal stick of Alex Wilbert. Easiest save he'll make all year. Now Barrett clears it up the far side. It'll be taken on by McElhaney. McElhaney's shot from just over the blue line is gloved down by Iafrate, and he keeps it moving. Smart move, shorthanded. You don't want to get that face-off in your own end. Penalty's over. Canon-Mac's back to full strength, but it's still 4-1 Peters Township. Ticking down towards 6 minutes left in regulation time. Camp pulls it out of a crowd, down the right wing, into the offensive zone to the corner. Camp put it back against the grain, but reading that play was Nicholas Price to pick it off. Price gives it up ahead. Rotello with a shot high over the net, but still gloved down by Wilbert. No further play. 5:54 showing on the big center-hung scoreboard clock here at Prince-Scape Arena. I'm Matt Geika with Brian Mitchell. No goals in this period. PT took control of the 4-goal second, trying to claim that Miners' Cup trophy yet again. They've got it the last couple of times it's been handed out. Face-off win cleanly back by Wilcox into the wheelhouse of Dakota Alvarado as the only goal for Canon-Mac tonight, but that was stopped by Wilbert. Again, one back to Alvarado. This time he couldn't get it through Ferguson, but then Alvarado wipes out Ferguson for his trouble. Cleared by PT. Foltz couldn't get past Wilcox with a strong back check. Ferguson spun one over the top of the net from the neutral zone. From the Canon-Mac end, they can't make anything happen. Foltz picks it off the blue line. Foltz has a man open in front. That was centered, but he couldn't get it through. Sliding play, a sliding block by Stanton. Now we're seeing Nick Hewlin get some playing time here on the blue line for the Indians. Hewlin pushed it up ahead. It'll be Stanton for Canon-Mac, just driving it down and out. Back in the possession of the Indians, but Bray centered. Made a tough pass to the far side, away from all of his teammates. They were skating toward the near side as he passed it toward the far. That's an icing call with 5:04 to go.
Just trying to try something to occur here. No pressure from Canon-McMillan at this point. It's just, Peters Township just shutting them down as soon as they get to the red line. And they're getting the opportunities, but it's starting to look like Rip's starting to get a little bit of a snake bite going on there, getting that close and getting that many opportunities and shut down the entire game to this point.
I'd count about 4 that I'd call grade A tonight for him. Guy who came into the night with 10 goals.
Should have 14.
Yeah, he has. He's been the man that has had those chances presented to him, and it just hasn't fallen for him. Sometimes that's hockey. Sometimes that's life, and they'll have to move on, and the Big Macs will have to move on from this one, assuming the score line holds at 4-1 right now. Playing it off the stick of Iafrate was Drew Wilbert. It hopped loose. Mertens couldn't get a swing at it, though. Delayed offside against PT. They tag up, and Drew Wilbert shot it right to the side of the Canon-Mac net. Iafrate stopped it there. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third. Barrett stopped the counterattack right in its tracks at the red line. He gunned it right back in to the offensive zone. Indians were changing. The puck went right through a few skates, and so no icing. It's ruled they could have touched it, inappropriately so. Christian Biscardo will take this puck from between some legs and headman it to John Camp. Camp, elusive as always, steps in for a wrist shot from the top of the right circle that's stopped by Iafrate. He jumped up to make the stop with his shoulder and then hung on to the short rebound right in front of his chest. 3:47 left. Clock just melting away for Canon-Mac, which scored first tonight. Our next broadcast, well, my next broadcast from here, now we have some additional ones on the plate, but we'll be with you next Tuesday from Princescape here as Peters Township hosts Pine Richland, the first meeting between the Indians and the Rams since, I believe, the 2015 season. Christian Biscardo took this shot, and that was blocked out high by Canon-Mac. As for Canon-Mac, they'll be hosting Cathedral Prep later that night. Wow, that shot went right through Iafrate from Poon, jumped off the post, and went wide.
I thought Iafrate had it, just went through him, hit the post, and out.
Debkowski couldn't take this centering pass. O'Donohue, nifty little skating move to get away from trouble, protect the puck, and lift it ahead. Now it's Andrew Poon. Poon to the red line. Trottier stepped up to keep it alive. Now taking chances are the Big Macs defenders, Trottier included. O'Donohue will try to stand up Foltz at the left side, and he does force Foltz to dump in, but we're now under 3 minutes remaining in regulation. 4-1 Peters Township. 4 consecutive goals by the Indians. Has put this game close to on ice at this point. Ford, wild shot toward the front, blocked by Foltz, but back out to Stanton. 40-footer was blocked out, and again, Josh Ripp backhands that wide from the side of the net. Not quite a glorious chance, but again, an opportunity to get a puck on net, and he couldn't do it there. Barrett clears it down off the glass. Stanton lassos it at his own blue line. Stanton goes D to D, near side to Abbott. Abbott put the pass right through Ford. It'll be taken on now by Seth Hanna. Hanna overwhelmed. Ripp has it. Josh Ripp fell down, left it for Ford. In front of the net, Garver got 2 cracks at it and deflected the second shot over the crossbar out of midair. So many close calls for Canon-Mac.
Yeah.
Abbott shooting wide from the left side. Under 2 to go in the third. PT hanging on to that 3-goal lead right now. Mark Lehman out there to defend it. Iafrate still in his net. Doesn't appear we'll have an empty net situation. Garver coming ahead. Garver on the counter in front of the net, and
Ford just missed
steered
that
it just wide of the net. Half open goal.
Missed it by inches.
He was checked at the time. Give him some credit for being hard-nosed. Now Biscardo comes back in a 2-on-2, and Biscardo wheeled a shot off the blocker hand of Iafrate from the left side.
Those were the type of opportunities that weren't going in for Peters Township last week against North Allegheny. That's the type of stuff that you have to watch out for. They're now going
Garver
in.
giving it away. Biscardo's going to break right down the middle. He pulls up for a wrist shot, and it's stopped by Iafrate as Jacob Ford, or Logan Ford, pardon me, was cutting back on the back check, and he just blew right by the puck. Biscardo threw on the brakes and yanked it to his forehand side. But Ford, a lot of hustle there. And, of course, Canon-Mac was flying the zone. They're trying to get all these bodies up to get something with 1:02 left in the third. Not going to blame them for being a little lax there in their own end.
1 minute.
Foltz, Anthony Foltz for PT. Now the Indians just want to spend as much time in the O-zone as they can. No icing here as it's cleared out by Canon-Mac. Alex Wilbert drives it away from the side of his net. Looks like Wilbert's going to be able to pick up win number 2 in a season that's still very young for him. Guided off the glass by Brace, centered, and another icing here against PT. And, well, I'm surprised. They do end up pulling Mario Iafrate, do the Big Macs. So it's 6 skaters on with 35 seconds left. And an offensive zone faceoff for Canon-McMillan. Canon-Mac plays Cathedral Prep next, and then they'll host Central Catholic the following Tuesday. 4 Tuesdays in a row, all here at home for the Big Macs. This is the first of that series. Alvarado drove it wide of the net from the right point. O'Donohue came down the wall. Now Passiu out high. Shot it through a maze of bodies. It's patted away by Wilbert. 19 seconds left. From behind the net, Prezel centers. It's taken by Flavin, but he can't clear it. Barrett from behind the net. Owen Barrett for PT now trying to just hang on to this puck. Alvarado will run into him and might be a bit of a get-together behind the net as the time will run out, and Anthony Foltz is getting involved here physically, as is Brace center with Corey Passiu. Morgan, the referee, has jumped on top of one of the Big Macs, Alvarado. Oh, I figured that was going to happen with that tie-up behind the net right at the final buzzer. but that's that. Indians win. Indians win 4-1, and the Indians once again take the Miners Cup in this rivalry matchup tonight on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. No goals in the third period. Drew Wilbert ends up with the winner, but it was all about that second period in full for the Indians. It took a lot of the drama out of the night. Camp, Drew Wilbert, Eric Wilbert, and Mark Lehman are your goal scorers tonight. And just looking at total points here, Mark Lehman had a goal and 2 assists. He was the only player in this game with multiple points. Dakota Albarano had what is right now an unassisted goal on the score sheet for Canon-Mac. He gave the Big Macs the early lead with 1:16 left in the first period, but nothing from there for the de facto visiting team in Canon-Mac tonight, as the two teams are shaking hands at center red. Brian, the most contentious game I've called this season. I'm figuring for you too.
This has been fun. This has been a real fun game to watch, real fun game to call. Both teams came out flying. You wondering when the powder keg was going to be set. It went off, and Peters Township ended up the ones that were able to put more in the back of the net, but both teams left it all out there today. I don't think either team really took the other one lightly and just played well.
Peters Township, despite leading by 3 throughout that third period, ended up outshooting Canon-Mac 13-8 and 32-25 for the game. Penalties, not a lot in this one, surprisingly, considering all the extracurriculars. Of course, there might have been a couple called at the 17-minute mark of that third period, but I guess we'll find out later. Just the 4 total power plays, 3 for Canon-Mac and 1 for Peters Township that lasted all of 20 seconds. Now, the Indians are lining up to pose with the Miners Cup plaque, if you will, more of a plaque than a trophy, actually. They've taken off their helmets, they've taken off their gloves and thrown aside their sticks. It's a Miners Cup victory for Rick Tingle's Peters Township Indians, who now improve to 5-4 on the season and jump a couple of points ahead of Canon-Mac for 6th place all by themselves in the 11-team Class AAA standings. Canon-Mac, meanwhile, falls to 4-4, so that's 3 losses in a row for the Big Macs. And as for the Indians, now that's 2 wins in 3 games. Funny how that works, and they'll be back at it trying to make it 3-4 and try to go further above 500 next Tuesday against Pine Richland. We'll have the call for you here on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest and Peters Township Community Television. Brian, any final thoughts on what we saw here tonight? It was entertaining right from the get-go. I'll say that much, and both teams had a lot in their legs. They had a lot at stake here, and the rivalry game did not disappoint, even though the final score was a 3-goal margin. I
think it was a perfect storm of everything needing to come together, and it did. You know, the standings being what they are, everybody being close. Nobody wants to cede any points to anybody anymore because of how close it is. Could mean something a lot later. The Miners Cup being involved. The two teams just knowing each other and love playing each other. I think they just left it all on the ice. I think they played this as if it was a postseason game. Neither team wanted to lose. Do I have a couple questions about how, the flow of the game went? Yeah, I do. But at the same time, I'm not the one getting paid to call that game down there. So you look at it, I think both teams played phenomenally. Canon-McMillan should not be hanging their head here. They just didn't get they weren't able to put home the opportunities placed in front of them. A lot of Peters Township was pure luck if you think about it. Off of Wilbert's skate, it was a good move. I don't even think he knew he put it in there after that goal. And Friday played well. Just the bounces came against him. I mean, you look at that. He had several opportunities where he showed his elite level that he plays on a weekly basis. So I think it's a great game that we had here at Printscape. And I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for January 21st.
Yeah, that's right. It's coming up pretty soon, in fact, shortly after the holiday break. 28 saves for Mario Iafrate, the junior goalkeeper, in his 8th start for Canon-Mac. He drops to 3-4. And for Alex Wilbert, 3 consecutive starts. That's 2 wins in those 3 starts, 1 at Central Catholic and 1 here tonight in the Big Miners Cup matchup. He stopped 24 of 25. For Brian Mitchell and for the students at Peters Township High School who helped put on the broadcast on the TV side, this is Matt Geika saying good night and God bless. From South Point, I'll talk to you next week. Same place for Peters Township's matchup against Pine Richland. Can't wait to talk to you then.
Take care.